appreciated deeply by my wife.
Thank you all so much, Mr. Hamilton. And I see you have a beautiful orchid over there. But guess what? You give beauty and you get beauty. You gave beautiful words and in return we share beauty with you. Thank you all so much. And as I sat there, I'm not the graduate, but I was inspired by those words. And I just want to say to the graduates, I don't know if you got what I got, but as I was sitting there, I realized that he was saying to you that transition presents choices, yes? And that you are to make good choices as you go on your way. He said that take time to live because it takes time to live a quality life. I also got from his discourse that you ought to be agents of change, yes? And make sure that it is good change. And he also indicated that there are many avenues to success, but make sure that they are legitimate and that it is uplifting in the sight of God. And he also implored you, I hope you realize, to take responsibility for your education, to read and read on. Thank you all so much. And at this time, we are moving along, and on our program, I see here a serenade to the graduates coming from Miss Denise Brown. Miss Denise Brown, give her a round of applause for me. beautiful voice, beautiful words. Indeed, it is a day of beauty. And at this time, we have a beautiful young lady, no other than, I hear you singing down there, yes? Miss Ashley Rose, our own head girl, coming to us over the Bible.
Secretary Seater, Chair, and other members of the school board, Madam Principal, Mrs. Dixon Lewis, parents, teachers, fellow graduates, and friends, good morning. I feel a great sense of pride to be given the honor, privilege, and pleasure of delivering the valedictory speech on behalf of the class of 2008 for the Alvernia Preparatory School. This is the true story of 23 students learning in the same school. We found out what happens when we stop being nice to each other and start getting real. We watched and learned from each other. And then it is all over in a matter of years. The day finally arrives, it's graduation day. 8 years, where did they all go? We didn't realize that they would go by so fast. We either wonder what we could have done different with our prep school years, or are we happy with the way things went? Either way, this part of our life is over, but it will always live in our memories. I hope that you all have run out of Alvernia and never look back. I'm not saying that you shouldn't live physically, I'm just suggesting that you don't put it all out of your minds. Because the time you share here with all your friends is a time that should not be forgotten. We are all moving on, but a part of us is still linked here at Alvernia in each other. There are many questions running through our heads right now. What will happen to me once I leave Alvernia? Will I ever see any of my friends again? What will the next chapter of my life be like? You will not know until you get there and start writing the next chapter in your life. In the words of T.S. Eliot, and I quote, "What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from," end of quote. We may be ending a chapter in our lives, but at the same time we are beginning our future. The future is in our hands, and with the help of God, we will take it and run, with Him as our guide. If we quit on life, we will miss out on all the things that could have been. Create your own life and then go out and live it with absolutely no regrets. This is also a time for reflection, a time when we reflect with joy on some of the many memories we have created. I have particularly fond memories of the early years when our parents brought us to Alvernia, tiny runny-nosed and teary-eyed toddlers. We were left in the care of the understanding and caring Mrs. Harris. She, it was, who gave us the foundation on which we have built to enable us to reach where we are today. Then there are the memories of teachers who had distinct pleasure, we believe, of having us as students. Mrs. Latibody and Miss James, who are no longer with us, Mr. Thompson, who had the great fortune of being our class teacher twice, and who, despite his many criticisms, prepared us for grade 6. Miss Morgan, who found it extremely difficult to get rid of us, particularly us girls. Miss Powell, who stuck with us despite the many problems we posed to her, and who gave us very valuable advice. Of course, we did not always heed the advice, but nonetheless, it has remained with us. Special mention must be made of Mrs. Dixon Lewis, our principal, who is a great combination of a strict disciplinarian and a loving, caring spirit. Many are the lectures we got when we went off track, but she always inspired us. A little sugar with sweets. Of course, we cannot forget the canteen staff who made sure we had food to eat, and the ancillary staff who made sure we had clean facilities to use. It's true that throughout our educational experience here, we have worked very hard with assignments and made busy bees with extracurricular activities. But school isn't only about the classes and lessons. It's also about the time spent in school after the last bell has rung. It's about the time spent with teachers who become your friends. It's about the coaches who push you to achieve your best. It's about your friends who fill you up with the energy to get through a tough day. We all have that one teacher with whom we can we can connect and can talk about things other than schoolwork. We all have a coach who has inspired us to greater heights and helped us to realize what we can do if we just put our minds to it. Most importantly, we all have friends who held us up through the tough times, who called when we were at home sick to see how we were feeling, and who saw us for who we really are. The people you meet in your life who affect you and the successes and downfalls you experience help to create who you are and who you will become. We may all be graduating today, but I want you to look around at your teachers, coaches, and friends and realize what you have truly learned from 8th year at Alvernia. I know the future holds much in store for us all. We have left our mark at Alvernia. Now it is our turn to see what we can do for the world. No matter how big or small our contribution may be, just always keep in front of your minds Alvernia's motto, our gifts are varied, but the spirit is the same. Thank you.
Thank beautiful rendition coming from the Alvernia Choir, award-winning festival piece also. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, grade 6, they took my breath away.
Miss Hayes, please come forward. physical education, Spanish, and religious education. Jordan Dobson for outstanding performance in mathematics, science, computer studies, Spanish, physical education, and reading. Daniel Harrison for outstanding performance in religious education and for effort in social studies. And she's not up there, but I think I saw her this morning. She's going to be with me for another year, but I have a certificate for her for outstanding performance in physical education. Brittany, could you come forward and collect, please?
Yeah. You just point it wherever you want to do your stick and just
Miss May. Miss Harrison. Miss Valdez.
Lady Denny, could you take a step forward, please? If I did not hear it, I would not believe that such a powerful voice can come from within such a tiny frame. And I want to thank her wholeheartedly on behalf of the Alvernia I'm now going to invite Mrs. Carlene Spencer and Miss Sandra Thomas. Sandra, where are you? The president and the treasurer of the PTA to make these special awards from the PTA. These are gift vouchers for the children who attain the highest averages in the GSAT in specific subject areas. Romaine Smith, Mathematics and Communication class. Amanda Hibbert, Mathematics. Fancy Bernard for Social Studies. Kyle Mundell for Language Arts.
Let's hear it one more time for our graduates. Going well here at Alvernia. And at this time, we will have an item from the Alvernia Sign Language Club. Clap them as they come. And your favorite principal, she's coming back to you again. More awards for our children.
Now each year the principal award goes to the student that has the highest GSAT grade. And that person this year is Romain Smith. Romain, we also have an award, don't leave it, Ms. Black, for the most outstanding student. And this is not just a student who excels in academics. All-rounder, disciplined, organized. I remember on Teacher's Day, this particular student went to the class that she was assigned, asked for the curriculum, wrote her lesson plan, took it back to the teacher and asked the teacher to vet to see if everything was in order. And she had her activities, everything. When it comes on to Builders Club, organized, I'm sure this year the faculty advisors had nothing to do. A wonderful person, and I know I'm going to be here. Did I call anybody's name? Did I call anybody's name? But she is right. It is Carrion Chamber. I know I'll be hearing good things about Carrion in the not too distant future. Miss Oakley? Miss Watson, please come forward. You know she handles the food, right? That's why the applause is so loud. Miss Hart, please come forward. Miss Ware? And in everything we do, we need the security, so Miss Cox, please come forward. No, she's not an ancillary worker. She's the grade 6 teacher. She's right behind me. She can't get to run. So I'm
I have one special one for our principal. So, Mrs. Lewis, please come forward.
No, I can't see you all at the back.
Mommy, would you help the wrap? Oh, come on. Smile.
Danai Maria Demetrius. Amanda Hibbert. Dominic Parkinson.
What's wrong with this lady?
Harriet Chambers. Kyle Anthony Modell. Andre Scott. Daniel Harrison. Shante Buchanan. Shamali Sinclair. Codian Barrett. Kimberly Lamont. Josh Paul Martin. Tanya Lee Smith.
My hand kind of get tired now.
Faithia Williams. Jordan Dobson. Ashley Rose.
The most important so I came here and get big.
Shania Free. Chad Winter. Nakia Nemhard. Romay Smith. Johnny Morris. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for the graduates. Oh, Cody and Maren, please come back. Let's hear it for the graduating class of 2008. Mrs. Burton Brown.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Lady Mrs. Hudson, guest speaker, Mr. Howard Hamilton, education officer, Mrs. Molly. Chairlady Mrs. Hudson, guest speaker, Mr. Howard Hamilton, education officer, Mrs. Molly Russell, chairman of the school board, Sister Teresita, and other members of the school board. Principal, Mrs. Dixon Lewis, guests, fellow graduates, good day. My task this morning is to express on behalf of the graduating class of 2008 our deepest appreciation and gratitude to you all. To our chairlady, we say thank you for your presence here today and for the excellent job you have done in chairing this milestone event in our lives. To our guest speaker, who has imparted words of wisdom, which I am sure we can all take something from, we thank you. Mrs. Dixon Lewis, who for most of us has been our principal, our friend, and our second mother for almost 4 years, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your invaluable contribution to shaping our lives. To our teachers, in particular Ms. Powell, we thank you for instilling in us the principles of dedication, hard work, discipline, and discipline. To our parents and guardians and other family members for the late nights, the endless love, and your support, we thank you. Without you, we wouldn't have made it thus far. Ms. Cohen, from Plantscape, for the lovely plants which enhance the natural beauty of our environment. Our parents, for donating and assisting with the lovely decorations. To Ms. Castro, our choreographer, and Ms. Valdez, our music instructor, we thank you. The past and present students, for your presence here this morning and for supporting us, we thank you. To all who have made this ceremony possible, we thank you for your contribution, both cash and kind. Once again, to all who are present, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts and wish you God's richest blessings. I thank you.
Thank you to Karen. And as they say, all good things must come to an end. And indeed, it was a pleasure. I do believe I speak for all of us here today that it was a pleasure, honor, and everything to be here. As you go, graduates, I just want to leave you with a few words. As you go, you will make mistakes. You may fall, but when you fall, rise from the ashes like a phoenix and soar up to the sky like an eagle. And remember to always set God before you. God bless you all. And once again, I just want to say thank you all for coming and sharing in this exercise. Give yourself a big round of applause.